Hello, my name is Matt Cush. This is my case study, Module 13 for EDL 853, Special Education for Building Administrators. This study takes place in Dover at Nottingham High School. Miguel Hernandez is a sophomore quarterback on the football team. During a game, Miguel suffers a spinal injury that leaves him paralyzed from the waist down. After months of recovery, Miguel is finally ready to return to school with the use of a wheelchair. On Miguel's first day back in school, he is asked to meet with his counselor, Miss Gussman. She lets Miguel know that his schedule has been changed. He is no longer enrolled in his college credit biology class. Instead, he is told that he will be enrolled in another science class to satisfy his science requirement for graduation. The reason for this is because the biology classroom does not have wheelchair access. Miguel and his parents are both upset about this. Miguel needs the college credit biology class for the university he wants to attend. Mr. and Mrs. Hernandez arrive for their scheduled meeting with the principal, along with their lawyer, Howard Carey. The lawyer argues that Miguel's right to a free and appropriate public education is being denied. The lawyer is advocating for equitable access to educational resources for Miguel. Was Miguel harmed by the actions of Miss Gussman? The answer is yes. She denied Miguel access to his college credit opportunity via biology class specifically because of his disability. Does Miss Gussman's action contravene an existing law? Yes, it does. Section 504 of the 1973 Rehabilitation Act prohibits discrimination against people with disabilities in programs that receive federal financial assistance. Was there a breach of contract? No, not that I am aware of. Was the action discriminatory? Yes, it was. Miguel was discriminated against because of his disability. Did the action constitute harassment? I would have to say no, I don't believe so. The action was more of an error in judgment from Miss Gussman. Synthesize what happened in a single sentence. Miguel, the star quarterback at Nottingham High School, is injured during a football game and upon returning to school is denied equitable access to educational resources and opportunities that support his educational success and well-being. The people involved in this case are Dr. Harvey, the popular superintendent of Dover Unified School District, Miguel Hernandez, the star football player that was severely injured in a football game. Mr. and Mrs. Hernandez are Miguel's parents. Miss Gussman is the school counselor that changed Miguel's class schedule. Howard Carey is a lawyer hired by the Hernandez family to advocate for Miguel's rights. The school principal, I am assuming this role for the case study. The 3,200 students that make up Nottingham High School are also involved in this case study. The place. Nottingham High School is located in the Dover Unified School District. The school is old. It was built in the early 1950s. Not all of the buildings are up to code to accommodate individuals with disabilities. There is a lack of funds. The school is in a supportive community that loves watching the football team. We can assume from the information provided that Dover is a suburban area. Program. Nottingham High School is a public school in the Dover Unified School District. There are 6 elementary schools, 2 middle schools, and only 1 high school. There's no mention of special or bilingual education, although it can be assumed that these programs do exist. Review and prioritize. Could the conflict, situation, or decision be damaging to the stakeholders or to the community? The conflict in this situation is damaging to Miguel, who is a stakeholder. It could also be damaging to any student in the district denied equitable access to resources and opportunities due to a disability. Miguel may not even be the first. This also can impact anyone in the community. What individuals and groups have an important stake in the outcome. In this case, the individuals that have a stake in the outcome are Miguel and his parents. The groups that have a stake are people that use a wheelchair at Nottingham. Have all relevant stakeholders been consulted? The answer is no. Miguel was not consulted about the change, neither were his parents. The change was made for him without his input. Do I know enough to make a decision? Yes, I do. I do believe that I can make a well-informed decision. What are the options? The first option to consider is doing nothing. I will rule this option out right away. Doing nothing is not the right thing to do in this situation. Doing nothing will result in a lawsuit that the school will lose. Another option is to fire Miss Gussman. I do not believe she needs to be fired, but she does need to be corrected and taught the law. Firing her could also invite a lawsuit. A third option is to spend money and get the building up to code. This is something that I would choose to do. The school may not have the money, but this needs to be done. The school needs to follow the law. While construction is going on, Miguel can take his biology class via Zoom, or the class will be moved to another room. One thing is for certain, Miguel will get his college credit biology class. I will now talk about the pros and cons of each option. Number 1, doing nothing. The pro is not having to spend money to upgrade, not right away at least. The cons are a lawsuit and still having to spend money to upgrade. Number 2, firing Miss Gussman. The pros might be that Miguel and his family are happy. That might also not be the case. Another pro is that it shows that action was taken by the principal. The cons are a counselor loses her job. There would be hard feelings and potentially a lawsuit from her. Number 3, spend money and upgrade. The pros are that the building will be up to code and Miguel will take biology. The cons are that the school will have to spend money. Number 4, the only real option to consider is how Miguel will get to take biology. There is no if. He will take it. The pros are college credit for him and no lawsuit. The cons, there are no cons. My decision. The decision is easy. Miguel will take biology for college credit during construction to bring the school up to code. Miguel will have the option of joining class via Zoom, or the class will be moved to another room. This will be the Hernandez family's choice, along with input from Miguel. Ms. Gussman will keep her job, but will take some special training to improve her understanding of the law. This will help her understand and promote current and future success of all students and adults by applying knowledge, skills, and commitments necessary to develop and maintain a supportive, equitable, and inclusive school culture. Before any announcement will be made, all relevant stakeholders will be consulted and more creative options will be identified if needed. Implementing the decision. A meeting would be called with all the relevant stakeholders like Miguel, his parents, Howard Carey, Miss Gussman, and any and all other stakeholders. In the meeting, they will be informed of the decision and ask for their input. Input will specifically be sought from Miguel and his family. This meeting could be somewhat informal, but the family's lawyer will still be invited. Finally, once the decision is made and agreed on, Miguel will return to his biology class. If the decision does not work, although I think it would, there is need for a plan B. Plan B might involve transporting Miguel to a nearby school at the school's expense to make sure he gets his college credit. Plan B will make certain that Miguel will have equitable access to resources and opportunities that support his educational success and well-being.